What's going on, y'all? I want to welcome you back to the Raw Report. And today we're going to talk about tenacity. So, you got a vision. You can see it. You talk about it. You talk about it real well, actually. But the problem is, you start to believe it. And if we're telling the truth about it, that's probably what's killing you. Because somewhere along the lines, you convinced yourself that seeing the dream is the same as building it. And I'm here to tell you it's not. And what I'm finna say, it actually might hurt you, but it's the truth. Your dream is dying. And it's not because it's impossible, but it's because you won't do the boring things. You won't do the uncomfortable things. You won't do the things that don't get an applause because nobody's clapping for you to actually make it real. So since they're not clapping, you're not doing the work. And I know this is probably gonna hit a lot of y'all in the chest what I'm saying, because it hit me in the chest when I had to stand up and start figuring out what I'm building, what I'm finna be doing. You already carry a lot, and you got a lot on your shoulders, but you always talk about stuff you want to build, and it just never comes to fruition. You got big dreams, but the problem is you got clean hands. And what I mean by clean hands is you're not doing the work. You ain't touched none of the work yet, but your mind, you always talk about, man, if I build this, if I can do this, if I can get over here, and we can do that. You ain't doing nothing to chop that tree down. You talking about it. And I don't know, I don't want to call it crazy, but the vision it feels good. So when you talk about it, it feels good. Imagining yourself being where you envision, it feels real good. But the work though, I'm gonna be honest with you, the work don't feel good. Thinking about the work don't feel good. It's a task because the work is slow. It's boring. Nobody sees it. It doesn't come with no applause. Ain't nobody clapping for you when you're doing it. When you make it to where you get to, all of a sudden they clapping for you. But when you actually doing the work, ain't nobody clapping for you. So that's why a lot of us start to stay in dream mode. We want to stay in the dream phase because the dreaming gives you all the emotion of succeeding without the accountability. Think about it. You could describe the business you want to build in perfect detail. You know the name of it. You know the logo. You know what brand colors you want to use. You know the target audience. You probably even know the perfect location for what it is you want to build. But you ain't made not one single sale yet. You ain't shipped out no products. You ain't served a customer. You ain't did nothing. At the end of the day, I don't want to say you even built the dream. You've envisioned the dream, but you ain't built no business. And it's a huge difference in that because building a business is boring. It's more boring to downtime than, especially when you're doing it by yourself. If you got some partners, maybe that might not be boring. But I don't know. I can't speak to that. I can speak to when you're building it by yourself. It's a lot of down boring time. But we got to fight through that. And a lot of y'all will say, well, you waiting on the right time. I would beg to differ because there is no right time. I would say you basically waiting on the time when it doesn't hurt. You basically, you want to succeed without putting in the work. But the right time never comes. The right time to start was when God told you to start, or when it first hit your heart, hit your mind to do it. That was the right time. Every day after that, it was just a delay. You just delaying because maybe you don't have the confidence or you don't believe in that thing as much as you say you do. But a lot of us always, and like I said, I used to be one of these people, so don't think I'm calling people out. I'm just trying to help y'all move ahead. But we always say, I ain't got no funds. I need some funding. I need some money. Way before the funding come, you could be putting a plan together. That whole I need money is basically saying you don't have. To me, when I hear that, it's telling me you don't really have a plan. Because what I've come to realize is you don't really need money to start movement. And a lot of us always saying, like I said, for years, I ain't talking about no 1 or 2 neither. For years, you always hear people talking about if I just get the money, if I just get the money, how much money do you need to make that thing go the way you want it to go? Because the way you keep saying, if I just get the money, that to me, that's like throwing you need a blank check to make your dream come to fruition. That ain't how it works. Because you want money, but you ain't even stepped on the field yet. You ain't around first base. You ain't even trying to get to first base. But you want somebody to give you some money to build something that you, at the end of the day, is just a concept. You keep talking about it, but like I said, you ain't moved your hands yet. You can pitch the vision. You can sell other people on it. You want everybody to walk with you. But you ain't out there playing in the dirt yourself, I guess. That's the best way I could say it. And you ain't built nothing, no parts of it. You ain't got no frameworks. You ain't got no step 1, no step 2. And all you need them for is step 3. You ain't got none of that. You still in the head start. I don't even want to say kindergarten. You still in head start talking about what you want to do. Basically, it sounds like you're addicted to potential, maybe. Because the potential of saying that, man, you can do this, you can do that, it sounds, or it makes you feel like you special without having to be accountable to no results. Because as long as you're about to, you get credit for coming up with an idea that nobody else came up with that sound fire if it went through. But at some point, that potential that you're talking about, it has an expiration date. And a lot of times I'll say it has an expiration date, but y'all don't see it because it'd be 3, 4, 5 years and you still talking about the same thing that you could have been moving on 3, 4, 5 years ago. So it's like it has an expiration date. Well, maybe you ain't reading the expiration date, because if you ain't moved on in 5 years ago, what make me think you all of a sudden go start on it now? And at some point, people stop giving you credit for that potential that made you feel special in the beginning, because they start asking you, what did you do? What did you do with that idea? And I think a lot of us feel like and I don't want to say fear because that's a strong word, but I know we hesitate. We hesitate on the execution because it produces evidence. It's gonna, whether it's right, wrong, and different, whether it go through, it's gonna produce something that people can judge. And we got to get over that. They talked about Jesus, so what make you think they ain't gonna talk about you? They gonna talk about you because you ain't went through with the idea you threw out there. Because the proof at the end of the day is gonna be in the pudding. And whether it's right, wrong, and different, yes, people are ready to tell you that you've been lying to yourself. But at least you tried, because a lot of us ain't even trying. And I think a lot of us are not trying because that way we can never fail. But at the same time, when you don't try, you basically don't become nothing at all. You just sitting there just talking at that point. And y'all already know, like I said, a lot of y'all, I know y'all probably think I'm just on here just shooting smoke and making this like a motivational talk to get you going. But y'all already know I come with scriptures. Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and haveth nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. The sluggard desires. He's a man, he got dreams, but he don't have no diligence. He wants it, he can see it, he can feel it, but he don't have nothing. That's because he's desiring it without diligence. It keeps you empty every time. God don't reward what you want, he rewards what you do. Think about it. It's people out here training every day, say they want basketball, but you got one that's practicing 2 days a week, don't do no extra running, no extra dribbling, nothing. Then you got the one guy up at 5 a.m, putting in them extra reps before school, after school. And in 5 years, when he on his way to D1 college, and you ain't even going to no college, what's the difference? Somebody been putting that work in, and somebody hasn't. That's the only difference. Ecclesiastes 11:4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. If you wait for the perfect conditions, you'll never start. The farmer that stares at the sky all day and never plants nothing, he basically will never eat. The one who plants in imperfect conditions because things ain't right, he plants something. He basically go end up eating something. Something's going to grow because he's been out there working with his hands. But a lot of us is checking for the weather, trying to make sure everything is right, to put the seeds down. Oh, can't put it down. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's too this. It's too that. It's going to always be too something. So it doesn't matter. The time to start is now. James 2:17. Even so, faith, it hath not works, is dead, being alone. And in this verse, James didn't sugarcoat it. Basically, faith without works is dead. That's basically what he's saying. You can say you believe God. He gave you a dream all day long. You can say whatever you want to say. But if your hands ain't moving or you ain't got no action toward that dream, and I'm talking about daily, consistently, like I told you, it's boring. It's a slow, boring grind to make anything happen. If anybody gonna tell the truth about it, it ain't all peaches and cream and making it seem like it's fun, because this stuff ain't fun. It's like I said, faith without works. You got to do something. And I'm giving y'all scripture, so don't take it like it's my word. I'm telling y'all the scripture to it. Luke 14:28. For which of you intended to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. Every dream that you've been thinking of come with a cost. And most of us know what the cost is. We just don't want to pay it. The cost is the early morning grinds or the late nights with no sleep. The cost is doing it when you don't feel like it, when everybody else partying. Are you going to the party or you going to do your work on what you say you wanted to build? The cost is working in silence while nobody see you. I call that growing down first, because dreams die when you refuse to pay the real price of finishing it. They just stay dreams. It is what it is. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not marked. For Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever so a man soweth, that he shall reap. That says all it says. God is not mocked. If you don't sow nothing, you reap nothing. Your harvest matches exactly the work you put in. Not what you say you want. If you planted excuses this year, just know that when the harvest comes, all you gonna get back is excuses. Your harvest gonna be empty. And I showed y'all, I gave y'all 4 or 5 scriptures because I wanted y'all to see that it's not me just saying it. It's in the Word. It's in the Bible. Wanting is common. Working is rare. See, they've made us think that working a job for the people, because we need money to take care of houses, but I'm talking about doing your purpose work, not outside of your job, doing your work so you don't have to work for them no more. And the outcomes at the end of the day, once you stay on that slow, steady grind, eventually you won't have to work for them no more. You'll be setting your children up, your children's children up. But somebody got to put the work in. And it starts with the obedience. Because the Bible, these scriptures I'm telling you, the Bible exposes the hard truth. Most of us don't lack no dreams. We lack the stamina to do the work when the conditions aren't the best, or what we feel like the best are the best conditions, because we don't want to do the small work consistently. We won't get humble and do the small things. Like I said, the boring work. It's boring. At the end of the day, it's boring work. Me putting this stuff together to get on here and get on this podcast, it's boring work. I'm by myself most of the time trying to figure out what works, what scriptures work with this. I'm trying to make it happen. It's boring work. But like I said, let's take a mirror to it. We all know the person who has a notes app full of plans, but ain't got no checks to basically say that they completed this or completed that. They got a bunch of ideas organized. I'm talking about beautiful. They color coded, they titled, timestamp, but ain't checked off one of the boxes. Come on, man. That don't even make sense. You got all these notes, but ain't did nothing. And then, that's one person. Let's talk about the other person who sit there and watch content all day and dream about how they can do this. Or, hey, man, they ain't even funny. I can do this. I can do that. Where's that? We see in the post, but we don't see no YouTube. We don't see no reels. We don't see, what are you doing? Because you sitting here judging everybody else. Where your work at? Because like I said, they're going to talk about you regardless, whether you do it or you don't. So you might well do it. Because learning to upload the videos to YouTube or learning to do the reels don't feel like too much work to you. And you want somebody else to do it. Well, it don't work like that. I just told you it's slow, boring work. It's super easy. It's just boring. And you're hiding behind, you don't have the information to do it. Quit playing. That's all I'm going to say is quit playing with that. You done watch everybody else's content and you ain't made none of your own. So quit playing with me on that one. And then, like I said, we know this person. The one who announces the dream. Always, they tell them about, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. They love to post about, man, this the next move. I'm going to do that. Everybody be hyping them up in the comments. Let's go. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden they go quiet. Then when you go to asking them about what happened, oh man, this came up, that came up, this and that. So why are you getting our people all hype about it then? You shouldn't even say nothing in the first place if we really talking about it. And then this was one of the ones for me. This was me, especially back in the day, always trying to be perfect with everything. Basically always rebranding everything. New logo, new name. I'm just running around in circles, thinking I'm doing something, wasn't really doing nothing. Just moving with no aim. And the one that messes me up the most though is the person who always blames other people because they ain't got no support. I told y'all, ain't nobody go clap when you making your moves on your dreams or whatever you building. You out there by yourself. You basically in the wilderness. Ain't no audience when you out there trying to build something. And it's okay. I mean, it's hard at first, but once you get used to it, you wouldn't want it no other way because all those extra ideas and opinions don't got nothing to do with what you trying to build. The real builders don't need no applause. Because what they're building matters more than the people who watching. Because they on the sideline watching. They fans at that point. Why you even paying them any attention? I always talk about nobody supports me. Come on, man. Is they supposed to support you? They should be building their own stuff. People always invest in the vision, what you've been talking about. But like I said, once you start showing them something and building something, then the talk turned into support. But we got this thing backwards. We want support first, and then that'll give you the motivation to do it. That don't even make sense. We gotta change that, y'all. So here's what the dreams without doing the work, what it take from you. It costs you your self-respect. Every time you make a promise to yourself and you break it, you lose a little piece of your self-respect. You keep hearing your own promises and you watch yourself break them. That's why you don't trust yourself. Not because you're broken, but because your track record with yourself is terrible. Wow. That's deep right there. Or we always make our confusion of being stuck like it's not dysfunctional. It's basically the weight of unexecuted responsibility. That frustration comes from it don't come from you not knowing. It comes from you not doing. Because you know what to do, you just ain't doing it. You choose to do, or I don't want to say the easy work, but yeah, you're doing the easy work. And at some point you start living a fantasy. You start dreaming without movement. You keep more dreams alive or more visions of what you would do if this happened or that happened. It's not that hard, y'all. At the end of the day, ain't no discipline. That's really what it boiled down to. And you ain't got no discipline. And then the last cost of it, I don't want to say the last one, but another cost is other people stop believing in you. You done told them so many lies, they just stop believing in you. They don't believe nothing you say. They listen to you, they laugh, they joke, but they don't believe it because you don't believe it. And then you don't even catch on that they really talking about you 2-3 years from now when they ask you about that dream that you brought up 2 or 3 years ago, and you pick right up and start selling it again like it's fresh. Come on, man. It's a new day. It's time to make some new moves. Start today on building whatever you're going to build. Because the longer you start to delay the obedience to what God gave you to build, you start rationalizing the disobedience. What you used to feel conviction about, you don't feel convicted about it no more. So you basically end up spiritually numb at that point. But thankfully, God gave us a way forward. So that's what we're going to start doing. We go basically get away from the rot of the visions from the past and start building on what God gave you now. Because those rotten visions is turning into bitterness and blame. And we all seen a person like that, dog. The old dude that we know from back in the day who never became what he should have became. And now he's blaming everybody else, where he's trying to pull everybody else down because he don't want nobody else to get to where they should go. So he the one who throwing all the parties. He keeping everybody doing all the goofy stuff, keeping everybody down because he didn't get to where he needed to be. And I'm telling you youngsters now, get away from that fool ASAP. Because he ain't doing nothing but pulling you down. He ain't making nowhere, so why he want you to make it? And the biggest thing is you just got to start. And starting is not a grand gesture at the end of the day. It's a daily decision that you make to do the born work every day, no matter what. And I'm going to give you one more scripture on that. Zechariah 4:10. For who hath despised this day of small things? Don't despise the small beginnings. That's basically what they're saying. You can do 30 minutes a day. The 30 minutes that nobody sees. The first rep, the first dollar, the first page, the first conversation. Small is how everything real starts. It starts small. Nothing starts big. And God isn't asking for your perfection. He's asking for your obedience. He wants you to move. He wants you to do some work. So my one challenge for you this week is to take any dream. I don't care what a dream is. If you want to dust one off or you want to do a new one, and do 30 minutes of work, non-negotiable work, for 7 days straight without telling nobody. Why 30 minutes? 30 minutes because it's small enough that you can't say the excuse, I don't got time, because it's just an excuse. But it's consistent. It's 30 minutes is consistent enough to, after 7 days, you'll have 3.5 hours of actual work behind whatever it is you're trying to do. And believe it or not, that's more than what most dreamers do in a month. Why I say don't tell nobody? Because everybody's not for you. And you don't even want to put that out there for people to know that you're actually working on something, because, like I said, you don't trust you, they don't trust you no more. So now it's time to just move in silence. That dopamine hit from the announcement replaces the dopamine you'll get from the actual work. So at the end of 7 days, when you see the work, you'll be like, okay, and now you understand why you don't need to tell nobody. And I can give some examples. If your dream is music, write or record for 30 minutes every day. No posting about it. If your dream is business, work on one deliverable for 30 minutes every day. If your dream is school, study for 30 minutes, uninterrupted. No phone, no nothing. If your dream is to get in shape, train for 30 minutes. No getting on the phone, no mirrors, no selfies. Just train. If your dream is to do ministry, try serving somebody for 30 minutes. No announcement, just serve them. And then, if you miss a day, don't start over. Just add it to the back of the day. At the end, just give me 7 days and watch what you end up doing. It's going to shock you, because 30 minutes don't sound like much, but once you start to compound them over time, they start to turn into some real work, and you'll start to see it. But a lot of times we out here trying to get ahead of the work before it's completed. And like I said, everybody ain't for you. And they start, like I told y'all a long time ago, this thing is spiritual. They start knocking you down before you even build yourself up. And I'm telling you, you can move better without an audience. So basically, I'm not telling you to stop dreaming. God gave you that vision for a reason. But the dream without movement is just a wish. Without doing the work is just a wish. And wishing ain't gonna build you no legacy. The work does. The sowing does. Showing up with nobody watching, that's what's gonna build your legacy. So, like I told, I gave y'all my challenge already. Stop being the man who almost did it and be the one who did do it. And I'm saying that from a place of, I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to be the one who did do it. And right now, I want y'all to start with 30 minutes, 7 days. No announcements, just build. And when those 7 days are over, you'll have something that you haven't had in a long time. Some proof, not potential. You'll have some actual proof. So it's time for y'all to start building something. Y'all already know, come join the free community. Scan the QR code. Y'all know what I like to say, man. Stay real, stay raw, stay grounded in your faith, and walk boldly in your purpose. Till the next time, y'all, I'm out.